Maybe it might be good if you don't watch like all of this before watching the new one. Maybe that might have a good perspective on it. Because like I could come from the perspective of watching it from someone who's seen the other series,
Yeah.
and you could have it from someone who hasn't really seen a whole lot of the other series.
The next show we're going to be talking about is Full Metal Panic: Invisible Victory.
I was about to say right before you were gonna do that, I was like, when was the last actual Full Metal Panic that came out? Do you know? When did Full Metal Panic Second Raid come out? When was it released?
I don't know, but I'm checking.
Because honestly, this has...
Wow, 2005.
I told you it was going to be a long time ago. That's 13... Wait, is it... No, was it 13 years ago? Yeah. 13 years ago. That is how long it has been since Full Metal Panic has come out. Holy crap. 13 years. And they decide now that they're going to get another... They're going to do another... a set for it. And I was looking. This is not the same company or the productions that did it the first time.
Mm-mm.
This is a completely different company doing it. I don't know. I see some of the stuff that this one has done, and with Xebec.
Yeah.
I've liked some of their stuff, and I've seen that they have done some fairly good action oriented. Because come on, you got to think, this is very much. Because you've at least seen the first season, it's very much action oriented.
Yeah.
So if you can't do action, then you shouldn't bother doing this one. But and they do have some school things, which I see that is also part of Full Metal Panic.
It's like a perfect match.
Yeah.
This show has school stuff. They're like, hey, we do school stuff. They're like, this show has mechs. Hey, we do mechs. They're like, okay, here you go.
Basically is what it came down to, honestly. And there's really not like a synopsis for this either, because it just goes. All it says is it was announced a new Full Metal Panic series installment has been made during the stage event at Fantasia Bunako Festival. I don't know. I'm leery of it, but at the same time, I've always enjoyed Full Metal Panic. But I think the reason I've enjoyed it is because the reason I enjoyed the previous iterations of Full Metal Panic is because they took themselves both seriously and not so seriously.
Yeah.
There were definite moments of intense firefight and action, and the guys who originally did it knew how to do that. But at the same time, there were definite moments of hilarity, and they knew how to do that too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, you had a character who was very much hardcore. Sasuke was very much hardcore military, and because of that, like everyday simple things that we take for granted became obtuse to him.
Yeah.
Which brought upon the hilarity. But because he's also so hardcore military, when you had those moments of the fighting, he was very much on, hardcore with that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I immediately said I wanted to watch this one simply because I've seen the other ones and I want to at least give this a try. But I don't know that the animation's a little different. I think it verges on CG. I think at times.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Most likely, any mech series nowadays will have CG.
Okay, it kind of puts me off on it a little bit.
Yeah. 13 years, CG has taken over mechs. Whether they can do it well or not, it all depends on the studio.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of those parts look okay, but some of them look a little too like glossy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the mechs being glossy, I'm totally fine with, but like some of the people's faces, and some of like the car scenes looked a little too glossy, so it becomes bluntly obvious in my mind that it's CG.
Okay.
So, I give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I'm just not... Initially, I saw Full Metal Panic. I'm like, yeah, Full Metal Panic! Sweet! And then I realized, 1, not the same studio. 2, they have CG in it. And then 3, it's just... I don't know. I hate to say I'm one of those finicky types with, like, voice actors, but I don't know if I don't hear the same voice actor from Sasuke, at least, because he had a tone with him. He had a definitive, like, this was him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to. Maybe it might be good if you don't watch like all of this before watching the new one. Maybe that might have a good perspective on it. Because like I could come from the perspective of watching it from someone who's seen the other series,
Yeah.
and you could have it from someone who hasn't really seen a whole lot of the other series. You know what I mean?
Huh?
So
Yeah.
you'd have more of a fresh take on it, where I would be more of a nostalgia take on it, and see if how well those two mesh. So I know you haven't watched you only watched part of the first season.
I'm like, yeah.
And you've watched Fumofu, but then you haven't seen the second season.
I probably watched Fumofu like 2 decades ago.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, I still have a pretty good recollection of the whole thing and what went down and everything. So I don't know. Maybe if you... Because I know you were trying to get this one done before it came out.
Yeah.
But maybe if you don't, maybe it might give a better cross thing between the two of us.
Maybe. Yeah, this is lower on the priority as far as watching.
Yeah.
But like one of the main reasons why is like, one, because it's the third series, and then two, it looks like, do you remember these like guys with the shiny glasses? Usually shiny glasses means evil. Because it looks like there's 3 or 4 bad guys in there. One, because they're on the red side, but then also they all look ominous.
Like, I recognize all the characters, at least. Like, I recognize the girl, I recognize Sasuke, I recognize the commander, the white-haired girl, and I know the one when they're standing at the grave site, that's her brother, I want to say.
Okay.
And they're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I see his mech, his trusty mech that he uses, that has its own special abilities. You know, one cloaking, though the other, her brother has that same technology. I see the commander, I see his chief. Like, I recognize pretty much all the characters going through.
Okay.
So, like, you know, even his friend from high school, the blonde hair, I recognize that too. I mean, like, I as long ago as it was...
I thought it was like good guys and bad guys, but it seems like everybody knows each other, so...
Yeah.
What I was guessing
as
doesn't
long
seem
ago
like it
as it has
matches.
been since like, I probably won't remember like minute details per se, like what faction they belong to or exactly why they were fighting, but I'm pretty sure because of how long it's been, like at least the first episode there'll probably be like a catch up kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'll probably be able to like pretty much go right from the get go. But again, I don't know. It's like different studio, different animation. I don't know.
Okay, I'll hold off just so we can have that discussion where it's like I know slight things. Like I basically know who the bottom half of the characters are.
Yeah.
And then if I go into it and everybody's all like, oh, remember this or remember that, and I'm like, no, then I'll go back and watch it before I finish this one. But yeah, I'll go ahead and hold off on rewatching.
Yeah, because I think that'll give us a nice cross feed between the two.
Okay.
I'll come from the nostalgia standpoint, and you'll have the fresh look.
Okay.
So if they catch you up on it, and they actually, you know, you could actually see how it goes from there, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can actually look at it and go, well, but they didn't do this little detail, or you know, they changed this out of it, or the character, he didn't act that way when he was doing, you know. So
yeah,
see how well they stay by it.
Cool.
Because is this supposed to be like a remake, or is this just a continuation?
I want to say a continuation.
Okay, so we'll see we'll see how well they go by it.
Okay. All right.
For a while there, I think I went pretty hard into the vampire genre, and then I just kind of stepped back from it for a little while. So I think it's been long enough. This one is just way too manga for me, I guess. It's the best way I could say it, because I know like these appear like that in mangas. I know that for a fact.